My niece screamed again that night. The kind of scream that doesn't belong to a 5-year-old. Thin, broken, desperate. I rushed into her room, held her until her trembling slowed, whispered that it was only a dream. But her eyes stayed wide, glassy, as if the dream hadn't ended. The next morning I carried her to the doctor. A quiet man, cold stethoscope, a furrowed brow. Then the words that caught in my chest like shrapnel. Check her room immediately. No explanation, just that. A warning dressed as advice. I drove home in silence. My niece hummed softly in the back seat, as though nothing had happened. My hands on the wheel were stone. The doctor's tone gnawed at me. It wasn't medical, it was human. By the time I unlocked the door, I already knew I wouldn't like what I found. Her room smelled faintly of lavender, the kind her mother used to spray on the sheets. Toys lined up neatly, as if untouched. Too neat. A 5-year-old doesn't keep her world in straight lines. I searched anyway. The closet, the drawers, the corners beneath the bed. Then my hand brushed the underside of her pillow. A folded sheet of paper. My pulse stalled. It wasn't a child's drawing. It was a letter. Neat, adult handwriting. My brother's wife's handwriting. He'll never know the truth. Keep her quiet. The words bled into me, cold and slow. My niece shifted at the doorframe, watching, innocent eyes trying to read my face. She didn't know what I'd found. She only knew she shouldn't speak. Her nightmares weren't dreams, they were memories. And I, blind, trusting, stupid, had missed every sign. I didn't confront anyone, not yet. I smiled at her, tucked the note into my pocket, and promised her ice cream after dinner. She smiled back, small and hesitant. That night, after she slept, I began. Phone records first. Hidden numbers. A pattern of calls at hours too late for family, too early for work. Then bank statements. Transfers to an account not listed under my brother's name. Every detail sharpened the picture. She hadn't just lied. She'd built a second life. My brother's death hadn't been an accident, I realized. It had been convenient. And my niece was the collateral. Her mother's lover wasn't just close. He was inside this house. Inside her nights. Inside her daughter's head. The doctor had known. That's why he said what he said. He'd seen signs I hadn't. And still, I waited. Because patience is sharper than rage. The truth arrived in an envelope, clinical and merciless. DNA results. My niece's blood against her father's. Not a match. My chest hollowed out as I read the report in silence. The betrayal was final now, irrefutable. My brother had died believing in a family that never existed. And his wife? She had raised a lie under his roof. I called her into the kitchen the next morning. She came in half awake, coffee in hand, annoyance in her eyes. I slid the envelope across the table, said nothing. She frowned, tore it open, scanned the words. Her hand shook. The cup slipped, shattering across the floor. Her mouth opened, searching for excuses. But my silence was louder. My stillness was unbearable. She tried to cry, to plead, to invent a narrative where betrayal looked like survival. I just watched, and she broke. I didn't shout. I didn't touch her. I only whispered one sentence. She knows. Her face drained white. Because that was the one thing she feared more than me. That her daughter, her carefully silenced child, would speak. That the nightmares would one day form words. I didn't need to expose her in court, or to family, or to the world. I only needed to remind her that the truth was already alive, breathing, sleeping down the hall. That her own daughter would one day condemn her. I turned away, leaving her in that kitchen, alone with the shards of glass, the dripping coffee, the evidence she couldn't bury. That night, my niece slept peacefully for the first time in months. No screams, no trembling. I sat by her door, listening to the steady rhythm of her breath. I wasn't her father, my brother wasn't her father, but none of that mattered anymore. I had the truth, and she had me. Her mother would live with the weight of silence, with the growing certainty that the child she tried to break would one day remember everything. I didn't need vengeance. I didn't need fire. The truth itself was the weapon, and it had already cut her deeper than anything I could ever say. I closed my eyes, calm at last, and thought only one sentence: she'll never escape it. And balance good for you?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.